Oh my goodness. Good afternoon. See y'all, it's a new year. I think I'm still on holiday break. Well, I am Torrin Darling Brazel, founder, CEO, and president of Ignite, an organization that exists to combat economic inequality. And what we've proven is this. One of the fastest ways to take your power back is to become prosperous in every area of your life, your health, your wealth, your relationships, and your finances. So, we're starting our days with the wealth reset, where we pause, refocus, and make one intentional move daily towards prosperity. Normally, the wealth reset will happen at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But if you're catching this midday, just know that this is still today's reset. And if you're here live, you were meant to be here. But before we dive in, do me a favor. I need for you to like this live, subscribe to our channel, we're Ignite Central everywhere, and share this with at least one person who needs this reminder today, who needs to level up today, who needs to make sure that 2026 is the best year they've ever seen. And while you're doing that, let me share something personal so you really can understand my why. I grew up watching my family beat the odds. In the 1980s, my mother and her siblings became one of Ohio's first Black owned Sunoco franchises, generating about $3,000 a shift at the height of their success. So, for those of y'all that aren't smarter than a fifth grader, if you calculate three times three shifts a day, right? 3,000 times three times 364 days a year, because the only day gas stations were closed back then was Christmas Day. You're talking about a little over $3 million. But when they needed a mere $25,000 to help manage their cash flow, they were denied. A denial that ultimately, along with other dominoes, forced them to close. And fast forward to 2022. My precious Uncle Doug was on his deathbed battling cancer when he overheard me on a call with local banks and CDFIs. And with tears in his eyes, he told me that story. And he said, Tori, I wish something like Ignite would had existed back then. But here's the thing, y'all. 40 years later, unfortunately, this story isn't unique. It's still the reality for probably you, or at least someone that you know, and thousands of other underestimated founders who are still facing these very same barriers today. And it's on my hardest days that Doug's tears remind me why Ignite must exist. And today isn't just about credit scores and everything else it will do. Please know that this is about access. It's about dignity. And it's about making sure brilliance doesn't die just because we were not able to have a fair shot. That said, I want to officially welcome you to the Wealth Reset. All month long, we'll be sharing practical strategies to help you build, protect, and repair your credit. Because credit isn't one of the fastest ways, well, actually, it is one of the fastest ways to make sure that you aren't able to have access. But it also is the fastest way for you to be able to maximize opportunities and to change what's possible for you and your family. So today is our Money Move Monday, and we're about to reset together. But before I get started, I just want to give you a quick reminder that this presentation is for informational purposes only, and it does not constitute financial, legal, or investment advice. Always consult a qualified professional before making financial decisions. And the presenter and the affiliated entities are not liable for any actions taken based on this information. With that said, here early in the year, I need you to know that credit is not a moral score. Credit is your financial reputation. We're not doing shame and blame this year. We are learning and building and executing strategy because the system isn't broken. It's working exactly the way it was designed. We were just never taught the rules. So here we go. Let's talk about FICO scores. The FICO score ranges from 300 to 850. And your score is driven mostly by two levers: your payment history, which is 35%, your credit utilization, which is 30%. You see these other matters. You have your length of your credit history, your new credit, as well as credit mix. But what your biggest wins are going to come from is going to come from number one, paying your bills on time, always. And number two, keeping your utilization low when it reports to the credit bureaus. Now, you heard me say when it reports to the credit bureaus. And guess what? That is a different date than your actual due date. We'll tell you more about that later, or how you can learn more about it later. But in the meanwhile, just know that this isn't complicated, but it does require intention. And small, consistent resets will change your financial reputation over time. So now let me explain credit utilization in the most simplest way possible. Imagine you have a bucket that can hold $1,000. That bucket is your credit limit. Every time you use your card, you're pouring water into the bucket. So the bucket is empty. When you first get it, you have $1,000 credit limit. But every time you swipe that card, every time you pay a bill, every time you buy groceries, or you put gas in your car, or you purchase that purse that just you could not leave in the store, just know that you're pushing your utilization up. And once your utilization, like the fuller it gets, the system starts to get nervous. So your credit score goes down. But if it's mostly empty, the system will trust you. And now your credit score is going to go up. And what I want you to remember and know is that even if you pay your bills on time, if your bucket is still too full, then that means your credit score is going to take a hit. A lot of times we will hear that you really want to keep your credit utilization at 30% or less. But in a video that you may get access to, if you take action, you're going to learn that that number is actually way lower. And you're also going to learn how to beat the system, because there are two dates that you have to pay attention to. And if you learn those and you maximize them, you will absolutely be able to help keep this in check. So now let's understand that it's time for you to take your power back. We are absolutely the ones that we've been waiting for. So before I go any further, I want to take a look at our chat, because I hope that you're sharing. I want you to say, and I see it's a couple of you viewing. So welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. But what I want to know is, as it relates to your utilization, and we're going to go back to what makes a FICO score, because I want you to sort of get this in your brain. Your payment history weight is 35%. That means 192.5 points is available. Your credit utilization is 30%. That means it's 165 points available. I have a question for you. Who in here already knows what their utilization is? I'm really interested to know. Do me a favor. If you already know, put done in the chat. If not, I want for you to now take action. I want you to look at your credit cards and I want you to look and I want you to write this down. Look at the limit that you have available and I want for you to look at your balance. And what I want you to do is I want you to take, let's just say you have a credit card limit of $1,000. I want you to multiply that by 30% based off of what common knowledge is. We shouldn't have more than $300 reporting on that credit card. Now, again, we have a video where we go into full detail and we're able to share it all. But just for the sake of this live, just look and see what your utilization is. And if it is more than $300 on a $1,000 card that you have as a balance, you got to work and put together a plan to start paying that thing down. If it's less than that, you're good, sorta. But again, there is a limit that is going to blow your mind when you learn it. So now let's talk about it because I want you to know you can absolutely do this. And the beautiful thing is you're not alone. If you want structure and accountability, our Wealth Club is open. For only $8 a month, you can join today. So just scan that QR code on the screen or click the link in the bio and join us today because you don't have to do this alone. And when you join the Wealth Club, you will gain access to a video where we break down how you can build your financial power. But in the meanwhile, don't forget, today is the first day of many days. Every morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be on here 12 minutes or less because it's really important for us to share these tips and nuggets and break down the game for you so that we can all build our wealth together, moment by moment, day by day, season by season, and year after year. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.